Last night, my daughter and myself, we had a discussion about why our marriages fail. And I said, you know what? We both went out and we found a project. And the thing is, you you go out and you think, you know what? I'm lonely. I need a man. I need to have a man in my life to be fulfilled. I need a man in my life to be happy and satisfied, and I need a man for protection. I need a man for provision and everything. And you were never taught, but you can do all of these things by yourself. The only person or the only being you need in your life is God. And when I was younger, you had one or two options. If you were in, if you grew up where we grew up, you were either going to work on the mine, or you had to go and study to be either a pastor or a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher. If your family could afford it, you could be a lawyer and a doctor. If your family couldn't afford it, you became a teacher. And the other option was you go and work on the mine. You go and qualify yourself as either a miner or a mechanic or a draftsman or a boilermaker. So those were the options for me. For women, it was teachers, nurses, secretaries. You could go and work at the post office, or you could go and work at the bank. Those were your career options. And anything above and beyond that was seen as that's not income worthy, that's not honorable, that's not an honorable job. And if you married a teacher or a pastor, you had status in life. If your husband worked on the mine and he studied through the mine and he became a mine captain or a mine engineer, you were in the pound seat. If you married a boilermaker, a fitter and turner, draftsman, or a mechanic, you were average. And that was what your options were. Studying was not really encouraged. You were more encouraged to go and find yourself a job at the bank or the post office or as a secretary. And these guys that came along, they were out of homes where there was no, how can I put this in? This was your option. This was what you're going to do. If your father worked on the mine, you will work on the mine. If your mother worked at the bank, you will work at the bank. If your mother worked in the mine offices, you will work at the mine office. So your your choice wasn't that great. And now you get this guy, and you think, you know what? He's at least he's got a stable job. He can provide. But the thing is, he can only provide financially. He cannot provide anything else. And now you're sitting in this situation, and you're thinking, but this is not what I wanted. This is not why I went into this. This is not. And this guy has got absolutely no future plan. You know, he went and did his tradesmanship, and he will die for his trade. There's nothing more. There's no ambition. So you've got no security. And you're thinking, but this guy that I started dating had all this ambition, he had all these plans. And suddenly one day you realize, but this is this is not what I signed up for. But now you're in the situation and you are trying to remedy that person who doesn't want to be remedied. He's happy just trotting along like a donkey, going around and around and around the same old stuff. And there's so much more out there. There's so much more to be achieved. There's so much more to be done. And then I come home and I take up all of the rage and aggression on you because they are not satisfied. Because they don't want to step up to the plate and say, listen here, I want to achieve more in life. I want to do better in life. You cannot take somebody by the hand and lead them to a place that they don't want to be led. You cannot make somebody do something they don't want to do, or they don't see the point in doing it. They don't see the benefits of doing it. Why do you want to do anything if there is no benefit? But they will turn around and blame you because now you are standing in the way. Now they want to do things and they want to offer you and your children on the altar. When you are saying, you know what, you're supposed to make me the priority. But somewhere somebody told a lie and said, you know what, your work, your income is more important than your wife and children. That woman that gave herself to you wholeheartedly, believing that you will look after her, that you will provide for her and her children. And it's not her children, it's our children. Now suddenly you're turning your back on them. Now suddenly you're blaming them for everything that went wrong in your life because you are not stepping up to the plate. But she brought her everything. She brought her everything. You're expecting her to go out and work from 8 to 5, come home, help the children with their homework, cook and clean for you, and then service you in bed. You go out and also work from 8 to 5, come home, sit on your jack, watch TV, don't help with the kids, don't help with the cleaning and the cooking, and still want to be serviced. But your needs to be met. Her needs are not important. And then when she gets upset, you turn around and tell her, are you emotional again? Are you on your period again? You have more time for your friends going out, for your hobbies, than for your wife and your children. You and your wife are supposed to be one, not you and your wife and the whole rugby club or the whole tennis club or whatever club you want to belong to. She's your club. She's the only club you are supposed to belong to. But no, it's more important to go out for a drink on a Friday night and spend thousands of rands on alcohol than putting food on the table for your wife and your kids. Your joy is, your fulfillment is more important than theirs. You need to relax. You need to do all of these things. But what about them? What about their needs, their wants? You made a commitment the day you married that woman. Why can't you honor it now? But then you expect God to bless you. Then you go to God and complain about your wife. Why is my wife constantly on my back? Because she's got no security. You are not giving her the security that she needs. The security that you promised God that you will give her. But she needs to give you security. She needs to constantly assure you that she loves you. But daily, constantly, every second of every minute, you're telling her how much of a burden she is to you. Oh, Mystic, I'm a burden to you. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Why did I become your burden when I was supposed to be your blessing? Now you've become my burden. You're not my blessing anymore. The blessing that you were supposed to be to me, you've turned into a burden. And when a blessing becomes a burden, why are you there? Why are you with somebody who constantly tell you that you are a burden to them? We are not a burden to God. Why are we allowing people to tell us that we are a burden to them? Why are you allowing your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife to tell you that you're a burden to them? That's not love. That was never love. Love is not a burden.